Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reed's Read Spider-Man Crawl Space Review. I am your host, Ryan Reed, creator and webmaster of the Uncanny Comic Book Reader. Please come check us out over at the blog. We're looking for people to come read all our wonderful messages about comics and movies and other entertainment. There's my shameless promotion for right now. So let's talk about good old Superior Spider-Man number 5, the conclusion of the Massacre story arc, and also, of course, the really big proving point about Dr. Octopus as Spider-Man. So let's kick off for the pros. First of all, still love the artwork. I think it's fantastic by Capano. I mean, it's really well done. I mean, all the artwork works really well for both Spider-Man, the Spider-Bots, the cast, the drama, everything with Massacre. I mean, when he's committing those acts of murder, I mean, you feel the chills and everything else, but at the same time, it just takes a wonderful slide there when it has the more quieter moments or when Massacre finally feels emotion. I mean, you feel very sorry for the guy and how much Peter is just begging, Otto to let him live and everything, that he can find redemption and everything. And that actually even proves the point right there where Otto pretty much just, he realizes like there's no saving Massacre. Yeah, sure, he's feeling emotion. That's progress. But you know what? He's a villain. He's committed acts of murder that even he finds intolerable. It's time it ends. And he takes that step that, Peter never wanted to really cross. And unfortunately, even though it just shows it off panel, we pretty much know Massacre is probably dead. And I have to say, Dan Slott actually did pretty well with the character. I mean, this was basically only, 4 issues of actually using this villain, who was a new Spider-Man villain, but the origin worked, his motivation, and then, of course, his end was very tragic, just like his origin were. So I'm going to put my hands off to a very well-written story. And speaking of which, I think we've pretty much proven right now that Otto really isn't here for redemption. He's just trying to be the better superhero his way. Sure, he's not trying to take over the world, but he's patrolling the city. He's playing Big Brother now with Utah's face recognition and his spider bots, especially at the end of the issue where he tracks down the CEO about everything with Coca-Cola and everything, that she was behind it even though she was forced into it, but pretty much saying you're just as bad as everyone else and I will make that right. And that's the thing, is Otto goes to the extremes. He is trying to be a hero, but it's his own way. It's not him being the better Spider-Man, it's him being the better hero. He's still got that ego about him and everything too. I mean, that's really what makes the story very interesting, actually, with good. And that's pretty much all I have to say for the pros right there. Now, for the cons, like I said, there's still some moments there because, I mean, despite all this is happening, I think we needed to see a little bit more of how people react to the fact that Spider-Man is now over the edge. He killed Massacre, even though the people were happy, J. Jonah Jameson was happy. I mean, other police members say, hey, he was killing, and Spider-Man had no choice. He had to do what any other cop did. But at the same time, except for Utah right there, who himself said, this is wrong, using my technology this way, trying to watch the whole city. I don't care if it's better or superhero. This is kind of wrong, doing the privatize. And as we saw with it and everything, it's very similar to what happened in Amazing 600 with Dr. Octopus when he was pretty much trying to control the city his way and see it. And he's kind of taking that step now with the technology and everything with the spider bots. And it's very scary how he's doing that. And that still works well, effective story. But I think at this point now, even though we know it's coming up here, the next story arc, I think it's kind of time people need to start realizing something's not right here with Spider-Man. He's going a little bonkers and everything else. And you know what? Maybe this just isn't Peter we all know and love. So on that note, though, I'm actually going to still give us a 4 out of 5 webs. I think it was a very well conclusion. The story was pretty good. I mean, it makes me enjoy it, and actually very happy I'm reading Spider-Man again. I'm hoping with the return of Humberto Ramos on the Screwball Jester storyline coming up here in a couple weeks is very good and everything else and all that. But, we're starting to see more seeps of just, Spider-Man's just not right, and it's starting to seep into other books. As if you read Avengers recently and everything else, or even Avenging Spider-Man, it's getting a little bit more out there where superheroes are kind of going, something's not quite right, but I can't put my finger on it. But you know what? I'm not going to think anything else extreme yet. But we'll leave it at that. So in that time, I will see everybody later. You have a wonderful time. I'm out.